One of the most important things that you can do for your business is to build your email list. In fact, in my opinion, it's probably the most important thing you can do. So what is the most effective way to do that? Well, it's creating lead magnets, creating something of value for your target audience that you can give away in return for their name and email, or just their email. This is the most important thing I think that you should be working on for your business. So today, I'm going to step you through how to create a basic lead magnet, set up your basic funnel, and get going in less than an hour. So stay tuned. Let's make it happen. Okay, so let's talk about creating our lead magnet. Right now, I'm not going to go into extreme depth on how to create it because this video then would be all about that and very long. But I do want to show you how to use Canva to start off with templates and build one very, very quickly. So here I am at the home page of Canva, and you can do this with the free version or if you've upgraded to the pro version, whichever. Okay, so I'm going to go into the search bar here and I'm going to say ebook templates and hit enter. Okay, so it's going to have these tons, 112,000 of templates, and if you roll over them, you can see kind of if they have more than one page. Okay, so this one here has 5 pages, this one here has 6 pages, this one here has 1, and so forth. Okay, so now all you have to do is get started with the one that you think would be the best for what you're doing. And the way that I pick it is one that is similar to what I want, which will minimize the number of edits that I have to make and so forth. So again, you can just look at these. This one here has 8 pages. And I would contend that less pages isn't a bad thing, because then they typically will give you like the beginning pages, intros, and things like that. And then you can just start adding to the template with that template design already in place. So let's look at this small business survival guide. Okay. And all I'm going to do is click on this. And you've got this choice here, customize this template. So I'm going to say customize this template. And now I can go in here and change up. Let's say I want the color. I don't use this color, so I'm going to grab here, go here, and I'm going to go to one of my template or my branding colors. Let's say I want to do this, and I'm going to tell it to change all, right? And you can see that just like that, it changed everything to that color template, right? If I go back here and I say, okay, maybe I don't want it that color, maybe I want it this color, or maybe this lighter brown. Well, that's probably a good color right there. Okay. Then, of course, I would probably want to change this to maybe one of my other off colors. Okay. But again, and look at these numbers. Let's say I want these numbers to be here. I can say change all. And look at that. All the numbers, all the text is changed. I can go and, here I've got this color of blue. I don't want that color. I want this color. Maybe even this red. And that one doesn't apply to change all. Again, if I want to change my name here, let's say Papa Ron. Very, very simple to change. And now you can go in and if you click on a picture, you can go over to elements, or you can upload your own picture. Let's say I wanted to replace that with a picture of my granddaughter. All right. So I can go in here, drag that over. Because it is a template that is used to frame, if I click on this and say delete, it's asking me, do I want to delete the whole grid or the image? And I would delete the image. I can also double click on this, and let's say I want to move her down so I get more of her in the picture. I can adjust it any way I want. I can make it, I can move it up, I can move it down, I can make it smaller, however I want to do it, right? Any of the pictures, like these here, okay, if I double click on these, you can see they're in that framework again. So I can go over here, I don't know, and look at maybe one of my pictures. Let's say I'm going to use this guy from the Up. Okay, and I'm going to bring that into here. Oops, let's see if I can. It's not letting me. Sometimes it does that. Oh, so if I wanted to put this one in there, I could size this the way I want. So let's say I want it like this big. And then I can drag the sides. The way I want. And I can, if I go to this picture and I just click and drag just a little bit, it's going to give me the dimensions, 177 by 350. So I could essentially do the same thing here. 177 by 350. Okay. I think this is bigger than that, but you can see here, you can play around with it and make it look however you want, size-wise, and so forth. And of course, you can go in here with, to animate it, to edit the image. Let's say I wanted to make a shadow around it. I could put a drop shadow on it. And the angle, I can drag the angle wherever I want. I don't like that, so I can just go over here and say none. Put it back to where it was. But you can play around with this. And again, you can go into here, just double click, or click once and click again, and change all the text in this. If you don't like that font, you can come over here to the fonts, and let's say I want it to be this Laura. I can make it that Laura, and maybe bring it down to 8 point, maybe even bigger. Move it up a little bit, make it a little bit easier to read. But again, you have all of the flexibility that you want. And if I want to add a page, I can either duplicate this page, so now I've got the same page, right? Or I can just hit this add page, add a blank page, it's going to have that same tan background, and then go from there. Once you're done, so once you've created how you want this to look, you can, again, I can start from scratch and I can get rid of this and I can say ebook checklist. Okay? And it's going to come up with a lot of different checklists. So let's say, and you see these ones with the crowns, those are pro, so if you don't have a pro account, but I believe you can filter this. You might be able to, I don't see it. But you just look for one that doesn't have the crown on it. Okay, so let's say you want to create a wedding checklist. So that one's got a crown on it. Okay, here's a wedding checklist without a crown. So I can click on this. And it's kind of giving me, standard paper, 50 letterheads, if I wanted to do this. But we just want to customize this template. Okay, so I'm going to click on Customize the Template. And again, I'm in that same place where I can go over here and choose whatever text I want. I can change this, make this the color. Maybe I want it this color. Maybe I want these to be this color here, and I want to do change all, so it changes all of them. Anything I want. Same thing with here. I want to change this color to black. Change all. Now they're all black. That's simple. And here's the key. Okay, so let's go back. I'm going to go back to the one that we created. Go back to home. I'm going to go back to this one here. And now what I want to do, now that I've got this all together, and of course I would come up here and I would say, you know, Business Survival Guide. Okay, and then just hit enter. And now I'm going to hit the share button. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, to download. And then what I'm going to choose up here is PDF print. Okay, and then I'm going to hit download. And I'm going to save it somewhere. Maybe I'll save it into my downloads. Right. So in this case, it's already selected downloads, Business Survival Guide ebook, because I changed the name, and save. And now I can go into my PDF, into my Finder, and get that PDF and open it up. I'll show you what it looks like. And so here's what it looks like, opened up in a PDF. Okay, I can go through it page by page and see what it looks like. I can also, I've got this maximized, but I can also change, you know, the view and all this stuff like a normal PDF. But I can now that I have this PDF, now I can make, now it's a lead magnet. Now I can offer it up to people and deliver it to them a lot easier. Now you could do the same thing by just sharing them the content through Canva. I typically don't do that unless I am giving them the option of, hey, if you want to modify it and make it your own, you can do that and everything else. Then it makes it easier. You could also do it as a PDF because they could import it as a PDF into Canva and then go through and change anything they want at that point also. So that's all there is to it. This is how you create your first ebook. All right, so let's get into actually creating the funnel. Now, with a lead magnet, there really are only two pages. One is the squeeze page or the opt-in page, that page that's going to grab their attention and give them the desire to exchange their name and email, or at least their email as a minimum, with the information that you are going to provide them, whether it's a checklist or an ebook or a guide or whatever that might be. You've got to make it compelling enough that they would desire to give you a name and email and in return for that object. The second page is the thank you page, and the thank you page is what I would consider the delivery page, right? And the delivery page can be in the form of the congratulations, click the button below, and that button is attached to a PDF or something of that nature, Google Drive link or something where they can immediately download it. It can be, what I typically do is, congratulations, your free guide or checklist is on its way to your inbox, because I want to develop that connection. I want them desiring to get my email because they've requested something. They want to make sure they get it, and that way they'll whitelist my email put it on a list that doesn't go into junk mail, that their email clients know that, hey, this is a good email, and get them used to looking for my emails. Or I may do both. I may give them a button and send it to them in an email. I will tell you that I always send it to them in an email. Whether I give them a button to download it or not, I always send it to them in an email. So the only other time I might not send it to an email, but I most likely will, is if it's like a masterclass or something like that, because the thank you page is going to be the freebie, right? So if I'm giving them a masterclass, maybe it's an hour and a half video or something like that, that is going to be on the thank you page. But I'm still going to send an email out with a link to that thank you page, so that if something interrupts them and that goes away, they can always go back to the email, click on the link, and get back to it, right? So that's the design of that. Now, what we're looking at here is Kajabi. Now, what I'm going to show you here can be done in ClickFunnels, System.io, Go High Level, Kartra. There's so many of them out there, right? I like Kajabi because I like everything that it does, the professionalism, the support that you get there, the payment integration that you have with Kajabi Payments. It now takes care of sales tax if you need to collect sales tax, all kinds of different things. I love being able to have a coaching product too, along with it, along with the courses, and being able to build a website. It's just, it is for me the ultimate product to do everything I need to do with my business without having to have a bunch of other plugins and things to connect to. So here we're on the website design area, and you can see up here we've got website, landing, and funnels, right? And even though this is a funnel, I'm going to do it under the landing pages because I can create unlimited landing pages. Now you see there's none here because I'm under my affiliate account, which is really cool that Kajabi allows me to create a bunch of things under here. So it's like having another mini account kind of that I can. Now that said, if I were to create funnels in here, it would count towards my funnel count in the plan that I have and things like that. So I don't use it for keeping things around. Once I've created something and done a training on it, I get rid of it. But it's nice to have this because then I don't have to mess up my main account. I can just do it here. So a landing page is the integral part of a funnel. A funnel is comprised of a number of different landing pages, right? The opt-in page, the sales page, the thank you page, the order page, whatever it might be. So for me, it's just easier to create that funnel using 2 landing pages. So I'm going to start my funnel with I'm going to just click on Get Started here, but I could click on Get Started, but I'm going to say Start from Scratch. Okay, so I'm going to click on Start from Scratch, and then Get Started, and I'm just going to call this Test Lead Magnet Opt-in. Okay, and you can see it's already got a picture of like an image placeholder, so it's going to come up with a what we call a hero section, and that is going to be the main page of this landing page. So you can see all you have is a header and a hero section. In the header, that would be where, if I wanted a menu bar to show up, that is where it would be. And if I click on this and go down to the desktop layout, you'll notice there's a check mark here under hide header. If I uncheck that, then the header, the menu bar shows up and so forth. But typically on a landing page, you won't want that. And again, it's case by case, but on some of my landing pages, I without question use it. And it's the same thing with the mobile. On the mobile, it's hide the header, and if you want that on the mobile, you can. Okay. So if I go back here and I go to the hero section, you'll see that I've got a text block and an image block. Okay. So typically, I'm not going to want necessarily the image block, so I'm going to just go ahead and delete that. And here is my main section. Now, on an opt-in, sometimes I may want multiple sections on there, but a majority of the time, I'm just going to want one section. Okay, So in this case, I'm going to click up here in a section, and which is where I'm at, and here's the name of the section. And I'm going to go to the background, and I'm going to choose a media type of image. Now it's going to put a default image in there, and that's fine. Okay. And then the next thing I'm going to do is go to the desktop layout, and I'm going to tell it to make it full width. Actually, I'm not going to make it full width. I'm going to make it full height. Okay. So I want it to be full height so that there's no scrolling on it, and I'm going to save it over here. And then when I click preview, you'll see what I mean. Okay. So here it is. It doesn't scroll. I'm going to be able to put everything I want right in the center here. Now, again, this is Kajabi. Most of these programs are very, very similar, but I love the way they've set this up, because within this section now, I can look at the horizontal, and I typically want my text to be off to the left or the right, and then have a picture that's got information on the left, the opposite side. If my text is on the left, then it's all on the right? So I'm going to move this to the left, and you'll notice it moves the text over to the left. Okay, and Kajabi's based its web design on 12 columns, which is very, very common and consistent in most web design and what web designers do. When I'm designing my website from scratch, I'm going to base it on 12 columns, and then I'm going to put everything in there. That helps everything to be lined up and so forth. So you'll see here, the width is 8 columns. If I make this 12 columns, it's going to span the entire side, the entire width that it has available to it within the section. If I make this down to 7 or 6, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Okay. I can also go back to the section under the desktop layout, and you can see that I've got some padding at the top and some padding at the bottom and some padding on the side, the left and the right. Okay, so if I wanted to make this section full width, if I click full width here, you'll see that it goes, this box here goes all the way to the left side. Okay, and if I were to go back into this text block and make it full 12 columns, you can see that it spans, the box here spans the whole thing. Now, within this box, if I go down here to desktop layout, you're going to see that it doesn't have any outside padding, which is margin, or it doesn't have any inside padding, which is spacing, which is padding. And if I make this flush, it's going to take away anything that might be in there. So it's going to, you notice this text went right up to the top, and now there's no, and if I kept on typing, right, it's going to go as far out to the left and right as it can. Okay, and that's important to know, because again, this is how you get it to look the way you want. So I'm going to go back up here, and I'm going to go back to making this 6 columns. Okay, I'm going to go back to my desktop layout, get rid of the flush here, go back to my section layout, and I'm not going to make it full width anymore because I don't want it pressed up against that side. And then we're going to save it and then preview it. Okay, so you can see that it's over here to the left hand side, so I can put something up here like maybe a cover of the book and some something that relates to what I'm doing. Okay, so now I want to clean this up and make it a little bit better looking. So I'm going to do a couple of things. One is I'm going to go to this section here, and I'm going to go into background because it's really bright, right? So I'm going to go into the background side of things, and I'm going to go down here, and under the background color, I'm going to make it black. And you see it's just blocked everything, right? You can't see anything but the white text. And the cool part is it turned the text white automatically. I didn't have to do anything to make it white. It automatically, and if I were to get rid of this, it would turn it right back to black. Well, we kept it white, but it adjusts for what it needs. Okay, so I want this to be black. Okay, So now it's black. But this bar you saw me just move, this is the what it's called the alpha. You'll see A down here, but it's also it's really the opacity. So I can, when I get this left and right arrow here, I can hold my mouse down and start dragging. That's one way I can, and you can see it's getting more and more transparent. The opacity is going down. Okay, or I can drag it with this little slider here, or I can actually just type in. So I can double click on this and say I want it to be 50%. And you can see now the white text even pops more, and I can still see the background. The other thing I can do is I can go to this block. I'm just clicking on block, okay, and I'm going to go to background for this block, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make it black, but then I'm going to move the opacity down, okay, and now I've got a black area that has the opacity down on it, so I can still see it, and I can see my background. So if you do a preview and look at what this looks like, it's kind of a it's kind of a cool effect. All right, it really brings it out. And I would probably reduce this opacity even more so that you can see more of the cup. I like to use 50%. It seems to be a good number, and see, I can see more of the cup that way and so forth. The other thing that I would probably do is I would put a solid border here. I may not make it 4, I may make it only 2, and I would put a contrasting color, maybe this orange, so it makes it pop a little bit more, and I make the border radius, I like to use 10, just gives it a nice soft look. And again, if you look at this, get rid of this preview. It looks kind of clean, very, very popish, professional, and you can put in what you want. Okay, so what you're going to put in here is you're going to have. We'll get rid of all this gobbledygook here. And all the tools you need to build successful. That should have been a successful online business, right? And then underneath that, I would typically put check out our maybe discover our turnkey system to help take you from 0 to hero on your okay, and then again, then save it, and then when I preview this, it looks really cool, right? And again, I would choose a background that fits this better. And here's the cool thing that Kajabi does also. When I go in here and I go down to select the background image, if I hover over this little circle with an eye in the middle, information, right? It tells me that the optimum size is 2880 by 1200. So I can go into Canva, create a canvas that's custom canvas that's 2880 by 1200, and then use one of their elements. They've got a huge repository of photos and things like that. I can design my own, all kinds of different things. But what you want to make sure is that two things. One is that if you've got like people in here, and I'll give you an example. Here's my website. This person is over to the right, and they're looking to the left towards not only these people in the background, but towards the text. Right, so you want to make sure you're doing the same thing. I see a lot of people will get a picture that they really like, but the person is looking in the opposite direction, and psychologically it takes people away from what you're really wanting them to do, which is read the text and take the next step, right? So getting the right photo and everything in there, that's another whole training, but I wanted you to see exactly how this can be used. Okay, now I'm going to want to go into this block, in this text block, And down here they have this built in here call to action. So I don't need to add another, button or element or anything else. I can just say, yep, give me the call to action. Okay. And I can tell it to either, I can, get your free checklist today. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. I can have it go to a URL, go to a landing page, go to a checkout page, download the file. So I could have it download the file right from here, but I don't want to do that because I need to collect their information. I can open a two-step opt-in pop-up, okay? Or I can just send them right to the landing page. In this case, I would open a two-step opt-in pop-up. And now for the button color, I would, tend to make this, maybe the black color, the orange color of the border. Let's see, is it that color or this color? Maybe that darker color. And I think leaving the text white is great. It automatically goes to auto. If I say full, it's going to fill the space, but I want it to be auto. I have either a choice of solid or outline. Is pretty cool sometimes, okay? But then if I was going to do outline, I would make sure that my text is white and my outside is white, okay? And I think you can rearrange these differently. I don't know. But I like having the solid button in this case. So I would do this. I would make it medium, and then in the border radius, I would just type in 10. Okay, and you'll notice that it's got the same kind of radius as the box itself. And then save it. Right, and again, if I click on preview, I now have a very cool little page. And I would certainly put more in here, maybe some bullet points of what you're going to get in the checklist and things like that. But they just click here, and I would design this. Okay, so to design that, I'm going to go all the way back here to the first page, and I'm going to go to this two-step opt-in. Right, I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click this checkbox. And here's where I can put a image. So I can click on image. And again, it's going to give me 1920 by 1080, right? And I'm going to select recent files because hopefully maybe I'll use this one right here just to make it something easy. And then down here it says click on the form. So I'm going to grab just the default form here, and it'll automatically put name and email. And then the thank you page will go to a landing page, and I'm just going to choose this sales page thing right now. Let's see if I have, because we'll have to create the thank you page, and then I'm done, right? And I can change if I wanted to make this, I'd go down here to the button, and I would again make the button background, make it look like auto, solid, medium, 10. Grab your checklist here, okay? And then what I want to do is I'm going to save it here. It's kind of 6 1 half dozen other. I don't think you have to save it there, but I'm definitely going to go back here, uncheck this, and save it again, okay? Just to make sure. And then I'm going to go, whenever you see this save button as black, that means something has changed and you should save. So now I'm going to preview it. And look at this, and boom, here we have our pop-up. And I can even change how black this is and the color. Maybe I wanted a different color altogether, and what transparency it is and all of that stuff. Okay. So there you have your opt-in page or your squeeze page. Hopefully you've got a great picture reflecting what they're going to get, and some great text and a hook and a subtitle that they're going to want to click here and give you the information that they need. So now if we go back here, we've got this one. Now we want to create another new landing page. Okay, and we're going to make this blank again, get started. We're going to make this just test lead magnet. Thank you. Okay, and it's going to be the same kind of a thing. It's going to come up with a text box and an image box, and boom. Okay, so again, typically I'm going to get rid of this image right here, and this might be my top title, the top banner. You know, congratulations. Guide or checklist, whatever you're giving them. Okay, but what I want to do is up here on the section, maybe I want to make this background just a solid color. Typically, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to still make it an image, but I'm going to make it I'm going to grab this and make it very, very skinny compared to what I would normally do. Okay, and I would also on the background, you know, put a black color on it. Maybe make this, and I'm just going to look at the, see what it looks like when you make it flush. Cleans it up a bit, and there's a big space underneath it. I don't like that, so I want this, and I may want this text to be bigger. Right now it looks like it's a heading 1, but if I wanted to make it bigger, there are ways to do that. We're not going to talk about that today, but the simple way to do it is I can go back here and go into settings, and under my style guide I can go down here to the heading desktop size, and let's say I make this 64, and as soon as I save this, you'll notice it gets a lot bigger. Okay, so now when I preview this, excuse me, here's what I have. All right, so then what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to add a section, and I'm just going to make this. Here's all the options. You got 2 columns, 3 column text in panel. I am not sure what that means. Let's see what that means. Oh, okay, so it already gives you the background and all of that. And the cool part about it is it gives you a look of what it's going to look like. And if you don't hit add, it doesn't save it. So if I change this to just a normal text, call to action is going to be a text with a call to action button on it. Looks kind of like the background, but it doesn't have the background in the block. A link list is going to give you a link like a menu bar. Form and text is going to give you a 2 column. Here's text and here's a form you can add to it. And a lot of times, if you don't want the pop-up, this is what you would do, right? Hero with a form. A lot of people do this, so on that front page, instead of it being a pop-up, they've got the form right there, and people can fill it out and go. I like using the pop-up; it just kind of looks cool. Hero with a video, so now it gives you a spot for a video. And I want to show you something just real quick. That's kind of a cool feature. So you see this block is kind of shorter than this block. Well, if I go to this section and go to desktop layout, I've got this option that says equal height block. So watch what happens when I do that. Now they're both the same size. So as I put more text in here, this is going to move down and it's going to, fill out so that these will be the same size. Okay. Now this is not what I want in here. So I'm going to go over here and delete that. Go back to add section. So you can kind of see how these work. Okay. Marketing events, opt-in form, inline opt-in form. So let's say I choose opt-in form. There's an opt-in form. Inline opt-in form doesn't look a whole lot different, right? Event countdown tied to an event. Multi-video launch. Okay, so here's where you've seen these before, where they've got video, and you can lock these out, so that people don't get to see the next one until a certain day or a certain event. Here's where you can put an assessment, like a quiz, in there for them. Images, image gallery, text and image, and the list goes on. Videos, offers and pricing, offer storefront. So here's, you can put what your category heading is, and then select the offers, and they just pop up here and automatically load. So we're just going to go with text here, and I'm going to click add. It's here, and then here is where I would say, congrats. Oops. And we've asked to get this changed, so I'm hoping this is going to be in one of the edits coming up, the new updates, inline editing. So I can say, congrats, congratulations on your guide. Right, so I'm just giving them that information. If I wanted to give them a button here, I could go down here, include a call to action, right? And I could, instead of this being a go to landing, go to checkout, I could have this download file, pick a file. And remember, we created, in the beginning of this, we created our PDF in our Canva and put it in a downloads file, so I could upload it right here, and it's ready for them to go. I would also create an email automatically to go out to them, and I could also add anything else that I want, to give them, as maybe this is a great place to do an upsell on a low ticket course or a low ticket item that you have, or maybe introduce them to maybe one of your medium ticket items. Okay, so now if I save this, you can get as elaborate. I think this is very unused real estate. You can get as elaborate as you want on the thank you page. I see so many people that their thank you page is, hey, thank you. Here's how you download it. Click here to download it, and so forth, and that's it. They don't send an email out. You don't know if you've really got it. All kinds of different things. So I'm going to preview this just to check it out, and I'm going to click download here, and I don't have to do anything else. I just uploaded it, and boom, it's automatically there. I don't have to give them a link to a Google Drive or anything like that. It automatically saves it on the Kajabi server for me, and here it is, and then they can go up here to this button and download it on their hard drive and have it as long as they want. Okay, but you'll notice this is still in the draft. Okay, so those are basics 2 pages of creating it. But now I want to make these publish, so I'm going to publish this. I'm going to publish this, and I'm going to hit this little eyeball here so I can preview it. And I want to check it out, and I'm going to put in my name and my email, and I'm going to say grab your checklist here, and hopefully it takes me to that thank you page. And sure enough, oh wait, see, this is why you check it, right? Because I need to go to this opt-in, and I need to go to my hero. Oops, not my hero. I need to go to my 2-step opt-in, check so I can see it, click on here, and the landing page, I want to choose the Test Lead Magnet thank you page. All right, so I'm going to save it here, back, exit it here, save it again, get out of here, and let's do the I again. Click on here, Ron, email, and boom, here it is. Click my download, and there is my thing. The only other thing that I would change here is on this button, I would most likely, call to action, click here where it says open a new tab. And the reason I do that is because now if we preview this, it's going to open it in a new tab. And then when they close this, if I had more information, if I was doing an upsell and everything else, they'd be right back at the thank you page. And they wouldn't have to figure out how to get back to it, because a lot of people get lost, it gets gone, and they don't know. Okay, so that's what I typically always do. I know this has been fast and it's been very rudimentary, but I just wanted to show you how easy it is to put something like this together in Kajabi, and how quickly you can put it together and start promoting it. And all you have to do is then, if you go here and edit the details, you can see here's the slug, and you can make this slug anything you want, right? So let's say it's a checklist. You can say business dash checklist, right? And save it. Here's where you would put in your social, your SEO, your page title, your description. Again, it tells you 1280 by 720, go into Canva, create this, and so forth. And you've got, and you're, again, final touches, clean it all up, you're ready. And then you can go out to social media and do a video, and then the call to action is, hey, get my free lead magnet, get my free business checklist. Go to rondeering.com/business-checklist. If you want it to be all one word, you just get rid of the check dash there. Now we don't have to worry about it. Just go to business checklist, and boom, they've got it. And now if I go over here to rondeering.com/business checklist, you'll see that it will bring up business checklist. Spelling. Sorry. Here's the URL. I forgot I was in my other account. Okay, so my Deering coaching account. Okay, so there it is. And again, same thing. Click here, fill it out. Boom, it goes to the next one. All right. So there you have it. All right. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope it has given you some confidence that it's not that hard to really put together a lead magnet funnel. 2 pages, and the main page is that opt-in, that squeeze page, and you want to know your audience, know who you're speaking to, know who your hero is, so that you can give them something that makes sense for what they're trying to do. Excuse me. So, with that said, I also want to let you know that right now we're having a 30-day free trial for Kajabi. All you have to do is go to rondeering.com/Kajabi. And with that, I'm going to give you my Kajabi mini course so that you can get started in those 30 days and really check it out and see what's going on. Plus, I think 3 sessions, between 1 and 3, I don't remember what it was, free sessions with me so that we can answer any questions and make sure that you're able to use it the way you want, create what you want, and put it all together so that you can have a successful online business. I will tell you that the difference between those that have a long-lasting, long-term business and those that don't are the people that have a presence online. And I mean a real presence online, not just social media, but have a real searchable identity that people can find either through Google or through YouTube or through their blogs or podcasts, whatever it is they might be doing, because that is where you will grow and have a steady stream of people looking at what you do. Social media is fleeting and fast. It has its purpose in how to build, when it comes to building your business. But long-term content that's searchable and discoverable is by far the most important thing for you to build your email list and build that relationship and build that know, like, and trust with your audience. So I hope this has helped. Again, rondeering.com/Kajabi to get your free 30-day trial with all the bonuses. And I hope to see you on that. I hope to help you as much as I can in the near future. God bless you.